In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how a movie star acted unbelievably unprofessional and incredibly nasty to me on a movie set. I've never shared the story before, so watch it to the end. You'll be a little surprised. And at the very end, I've got a special bonus for you uh, on a very different note. I'm going to share with you a video I created how the great Tom Hanks shared some information with me that I will never forget and will be really, really helpful to you. Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Aaron Marcus, and welcome to the Acting and Modeling Quick Tips channel and the Actor Career Center, where I use the 37 plus years working as a full-time actor and share information with you that I hope will be really, really helpful. If you haven't done this yet, don't forget, subscribe, click the notification bell so you always know when I upload a new video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. That's always really helpful. Normally in my videos, they're always very practical. They are built on information to help you better with auditioning, dealing with agents, finding work, learning more about the business aspect of the industry. That's not what this one's about. I was thinking about this for a long time, and I decided I've gotten to a point, look, there are almost 300 videos here. This is one I just want to share information with you. I want to share a story. I want to share stuff with you as if you're sitting in my living room and we're having a cup of coffee and we're talking and reminiscing, and I'm going to share a very an experience that I still think about periodically. And so here's what happened. This is many years ago. I got an email from a casting director who I've worked with a number of times. And she said, look, I'm working on a movie. There's a boxing scene in this particular film. She has to find literally thousands of extras to fill the stadium. It was an indoor stadium. It was a basketball stadium. And she said, look, I can guarantee you at least 10 days of work if you would help me out and work as an extra. And I thought about it, and I decided to do it for a couple of reasons. One is they were shooting in an area that wasn't that far away from where my son and daughter-in-law live, and this would be a great opportunity for me to hang out with them for a period of time. Number two, I'm always interested in increasing the amount of money I can make from my pension with the union. And look, this number could change tomorrow, but as of today, I believe you still have to make about $20,000 to get 1 point. If you get 10 points, then you're eligible for a pension. And as you can imagine, it's very difficult getting that. So I do have a pension, but I want to increase what I'm getting. And so, look, I knew that with, at least 10 days of work, even if it's extra work, that's a guaranteed $2,000-3,000 or more dollars for doing the work. And that, that will go towards my, minimum of 20,000. So, for both of those reasons, and also I wanted to help out the casting director. She's very nice, and like I said, I've worked with her a number of times. So I said yes. So go out to this place, and there are lots of people there, and they're telling, like some of the assistant directors, they're pointing out people and say, okay, you're going to be sitting on this side of the stadium, you're going to be on this side, you're up here, you're down here. And somebody walked over to me and said, you are the boxing inspector. So, okay. Now, I had no idea what a boxing inspector was. It's just not something I'm all that familiar with. So I quickly had to ask. And the way it was explained to me was that the boxing inspector is the person who will stand inside the room while the boxer is getting his or her hands taped, just in the locker room, just to make sure that everything is done legally. They're not putting anything, in there that's not legal. It's just tape. And the other thing is, in between rounds, it's your job as the inspector to hop up into the ring and make sure that if they are giving any liquids to the boxer, any fluids, that it's all legitimate. There's nothing illegal being given to the fighter. So I thought, hey, well, that sounds more interesting than sitting up in the nosebleed section of a stadium. Hey, I feel like I'm a little bit more involved with what's going on. So that was interesting. So the way that it works, or the way that it worked was, so I was sitting in a folding chair right below the rink, and there was the person who was the cut person who jumps up, brings the stool so the boxer can rest in between rounds, checks the boxer over. He goes up first. I go up second. And so I go up the steps, climb into the ring. And once again, I'm inspecting. Need to make sure that everything is being done legally. And then the trainer hops up after me, and he's in the ring as well, talking to the boxer. So we did this a lot of times. There were lots of days, and towards the end of it was a long day, because sometimes we were doing 12, 13, 14 hours. As it turns out, I always like working as much as possible. I made a lot more than the $3,000 or $4,000 just because of the amount of hours that I worked. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know if something was happening personally in this actor's, who was one of the stars of the movie. If something was going on with him that day, I had no idea. And I'm sitting right beside him, during the fighting scenes. And actually, because we had so much downtime, had a lot of really interesting discussions with him, learned a lot about what he did, how he got started. And it was fascinating to me. I enjoyed it a lot. And it was the end of a long day, and bell rings. The stool guy jumps up, the trainer. I go up next. The trainer, he goes up after me. And then when the bell rings, we need to get out. I don't know what happened, but the guy who grabs the stool, there was some delay with him. And I didn't really see what was going on, but I had to stand on the side of the ring and wait for this guy, who was kind of blocking me anyway, until he got the stool and he could, walk down. It was like 4 or 5 steps. And so, for whatever reason, there was this break, and it was taking him some time. And as soon as he started walking down, and it took longer than normal, I, took a step towards the steps. And one of the stars of this project, I guess he got impatient, and he literally pushed me from behind, pretty hard. He pushed me hard enough that I couldn't land on the steps. I knew if I tried to land on the steps, I would just fall over. I mean, he really shoved me. And it's funny, in these kinds of situations, I had all these thoughts flying through my head. One was, okay, I know I can't make it on the steps because I'm not going to land properly. I'll probably break an ankle. I'm going to, fall going down the steps. I can't really grab the railing of the step. There was another part of me, and once again, I don't know how our brains work this way, but it was split-second decisions. There was another part of me that felt so angry, and I felt outraged that this guy would do this to me. I was thinking about jumping down all the steps, falling onto the ground, grab my ankle, and start screaming in pain. I was thinking about doing that. I quickly decided, because once again, I was so angry about this. I quickly decided not to do that. And I don't know how our brains work this way, but I start thinking, and once again, these are split second decisions. I start thinking, you know what? If I do that, yeah, it will draw attention to what he did. He will look like somebody who's really nasty, and it was a really nasty thing to do. But then, what's going to happen? They're going to bring a medic over. They're going to rush me to an emergency room. I'm fine. I wasn't hurt at all as I was going down. And so I opted not to do that. And fortunately, I'm pretty athletic. I was able to just jump, all 5 steps, hit the ground. I was still on my feet, and I walked over to my chair. And once again, I was so angry. There was no excuse for that. You never do something purposely to endanger somebody else on the set. Look, I understand sometimes you're in a scene, you're in the moment, things happen. I get it. But that did not have to happen. He could have waited. Maybe the scene wouldn't have worked. Maybe they would have to reshoot that one because there was this delay of him, coming down. And so what? So you're going to endanger another actor? You're going to potentially harm somebody? I think he was just angry. Something was going on with him, and he took it out on me. And, here I am. I'm working as an extra. He's one of the stars. So what am I going to run over to, the director and start, lodging a complaint? Am I going to contact the union and lodge a complaint? I could have. I could have done all of those things. And look, there is no one specific way of dealing with this properly. There are lots of different ways of doing it. And it's kind of like for me, sometimes I've been in situations, matter of fact, I'll just tell you a very specific one. Someone, an advertiser, took a clip from one of my quick tip videos. It was a still shot that they took from the video, and they used it for an ad campaign. Somebody, a fellow actor, happened to tell me about it. And I looked at it. I can't believe somebody just stole part of my quick tip video and used it for them. I contacted the company. It took a little bit of work. I also spoke with a copyright attorney first, just somebody I know. And he gave me a range of, if I were to be compensated, this is about what I should expect. I contacted the person who actually did it. And I said, you have no, legal authority to do this. What you did, this copyright infringement. And he paid me. And I can also tell you there was another time, once again, this is a video. It's not instructional. I'm sharing with you. This is also many years ago. Did a workshop at a place, and actually I did it for a long time period, and it was pretty shocking to me. The person who hired me for the last couple of workshops didn't pay me. And thought about it. I could have gone to court, could have gone to small claims court. And in that time period, I decided I didn't want to deal with it. Did not want to get involved with a legal suit. It was out of state. It felt complicated. And not to say that I wouldn't do it. In that moment, it just didn't feel right to me. And so I didn't pursue that. So getting back to this story, I decided not to say anything. I sat in the chair, just like I had for the, previous, 10, 11 days. And at one point, this actor, he saw that I was really angry. And he did apologize. Um, and I said to him, I said, please do not ever push me again. I said, that was dangerous. And it was a little bit of a curt apology, but he did apologize. And we were able to continue talking, after that. So, once again, there is no one right way to deal with this. There were a number of options. I mean, there were people who witnessed, what took place. So it's not like my story against his story. But it was really bad. So I guess the one thing I do want to share with you about this is that just remember, whether you are a star, whether you are the extra, whether you are a day player, whatever it is, it doesn't make any difference. Just please don't do anything on a set that could potentially injure somebody else. Look, we're actors. We're doing make-believe stuff and making it look real. There's nothing more important than your safety, than your health. And I know we get involved, we get caught up in the moment. I get it, that's a good thing when those things happen. But there is a line that you can't cross. You just can't cross it. So, it's just a story. I've never told this one before. Want to share it with you. It was not good. It ended up okay. I did have a really good experience working on this project. That one day was not good. Next day I saw this guy. Everything was fine, and we continued again and everything was good. So anyhow, I just wanted to share that. If by any chance you ever experienced anything, it doesn't have to be physical, but just something that happened to you that shouldn't have, please share it in the comments below so we can all, learn from each other. That's the point of having this channel. Like I promised, if you use the link up here, you are going to get a chance to watch this video of some really, really helpful advice that Tom Hanks shared with me. And these are lessons that I will remember for the rest of my life. Last thing, if you haven't done this yet, please don't forget, subscribe, click the notification bell so you always know when I upload a new video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. That's really helpful. And please share the link with all of your fellow actors throughout your social media. If you send out emails to people, send the link to them so that way we can continue to build a great community of actors helping each other. I'm Aaron Marcus. This felt like a really special one. I'm really glad I did this with you, and can't wait to talk with you again soon. See ya.